Hi everyone, I'm Deborah Richter, personal fitness trainer and health coach. Last week I brought you the first workout in a series called COVID Strong Workout. It was for legs and shoulders. If you missed it, you can find it on YouTube. This week I'm bringing you another great in-home workout that you can do that, like the last, doesn't require any special equipment, and it's specifically to work your core. So if you have an exercise mat or a comfortable spot on a carpeted floor where you can do this workout, go ahead and get what you need, grab some water, and let's get started. Before we begin, I recommend that if you haven't done a workout in some time, or if you have lower back issues, place a chair under your legs for this first exercise. Start by lying on your back. Bring your legs up at a bent 90-degree angle. Place your arms behind your head. This is going to support the neck. Keep the chin off your chest and gently lift as you push your back down towards the floor. Also imagine that you're moving your rib cage towards your pelvic bones. This gives you a stronger contraction. Exhale your air every time you lift. I like to inhale through my nose on the way down and exhale out through the mouth as I lift. And that allows me a better contraction through the abdominal wall. If you want to make this more challenging, then while you're in the lift phase, you can alternate taking your legs down towards the floor. With a bent knee, it's a little challenging, but if you straighten out the legs as you do it, this makes it even harder. I recommend this only if you've been doing a lot of abdominal exercises and you're pretty advanced in your practice. Otherwise, just keeping the legs in this position and holding your back down while you gently crunch upward is quite effective. As you drop back, you're going to feel the curve in your back resume, and as you lift, feel your back pressing down and your abs fully engaging. You can also turn this into a dual crunch by pulling your knees into the chest with each motion. This is one of my favorite variations because it's so efficient. If any of this bothers your neck, in spite of your best efforts to keep your chin up, place your arms at your side, and you can do this with your head down or a slight rolled up towel under your head for support. You can again just hold this, or while doing this pose, you can simply alternate heels moving towards the floor, keeping those abs tight. Another variation of abdominals that I love is a bicycle crunch. It works your obliques, and the obliques run on an angle across your abdomen. So in keeping with that, in a bicycle crunch, you're doing a rotation motion to capitalize on those oblique muscles. So every time I pull one knee towards me, I'm rotating and lifting my trunk. Again, keeping the chin off the chest. Exhale your air with each repetition as you lift. This is a wonderful exercise, and you're going to feel it all throughout your abdominals. Try a few more. If this is difficult for you again because of your neck, lay the head back, engage the abs, and alternately pump your legs back and forth. You can also do a bicycling action. However, I find the pumping back and forth is actually more effective. Next, you can keep your arms at your side and do a reverse crunch. Bring your knees in towards your chest and rock back. You can also, keeping the abs tight, withdraw your legs out away from your body a little bit. But I find that you really don't have to go far without really feeling that challenge. You can also gently lift the hips. If you're going to do this, make sure that you can control the descent. If your hips come down hard, then you may want to stick to more of the basic form where the hips stay down and you concentrate on just lifting the tailbone gently. You can hesitate there and hold that for a few seconds, and it's very effective. There's no need to come way up with your legs when you do this correctly. Next, we can work the oblique muscles in a side plank. Most people have seen a traditional side plank done with the legs straight. but this is very difficult for most people. So I love this variation where you have your knees bent slightly in front of your hips and you have your elbow right under the shoulder. If you have shoulder problems, be very cautious doing this exercise, and you may need to skip it altogether. Simply here, raise the hip up into a plank. Hold that, or make it a dynamic motion, allowing the hip to come down to the floor gently and lifting it back up. You can always use the other hand for support. If you want to make it a little more challenging, feel free to have the arm up or at your side. And you can continue to just hold or move up and down through this. Another variation that many people enjoy doing, but it is quite challenging, is a rotation. So I'm simply rotating through and then back up. And ultimately, if you want the challenge that's going to be the most significant, if you're already used to doing these kind of things, come up, whole body weight, and do that same motion. So pick a version of this that works for you. Go ahead, stop the video, and repeat that on the other side. Once you're done, now you can come up and do a basic peel-up motion. This is a Pilates move. In the basic form, your legs are straight, arms start overhead. You tuck your chin and press your back firmly down into the floor and peel up, reaching towards your feet. And then very slowly create a deep tuck, imagining that every single vertebra from the lower back to the mid, all the way to the upper back, lowers to the floor slowly. This is a very challenging exercise in the beginning that reaps great rewards in a short period of time. This is fantastic for your abs and your back. To make it a little more challenging, you can do it with your knees bent. Again, pressing your back firmly down to lift, roll up, and then sit nice and tall at the top. Lower very slowly. If you need to, you can always use your legs for a little gentle support right here to lift you up and pull you into an upright position. Now, some people like to add an additional variation, straightening one leg and gently laying back, and that's an option. Next, let's work your lower back. We're going to start with the bird dog. Get on all fours, knees right under your hips, and hands under your shoulders. You're going to pull your abdominal wall in, and you're going to alternate, raising one arm and the opposite leg. Keep your head in alignment with your spine, eyes looking down, and simply hold each side for a few seconds. If you find it challenging to balance on this one, just look back and check in where your leg is. It should be directly behind the hip. And you don't want it any higher than the hip either, because that can also throw off balance. Another great way that you can work your back, if you're ready for something a little more challenging, is to lie all the way down, arms extended out, and you're going to do an alternating Superman. Alternate lifting one arm and the opposite leg, and try holding it. Every time you lift, pull your chin in and gently raise your head. Continue alternating these, squeezing the glutes as you lift that leg, and gently pressing your pelvis into the mat as you lift to give you that extra bit of leverage. You're really going to feel this in your lower back, all the way up through the mid-back. When you're done, place your hands right under your shoulders and press back into child's pose. Congratulate yourself on a job well done. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your core workout. I want to leave you with a couple of immune system building tips. One of them is pets can bring a great deal of joy to your life, but they've also been proven to increase longevity. I highly recommend having a pet. Secondly, make sure you get enough water. If you're not sure how much you personally need, Take your body weight, cut it in half, and that's how much you should have in ounces every day. Stay safe, everyone. And next week, stay tuned for another COVID Strong workout. I'll be seeing you then.